Now we're seeing a run on a miner, a System X miner. We missed just a moment ago. System X rushed a miner low at the low portion of the map. When I say low, if you take a look at the mini-map, the section of the map that is actually down towards the bottom is low, and the section is high. Towards the top portion of the map is considered high, and in the middle is considered middle or mid-high or mid-low. We're watching the miner. Oh, it looks like this miner may actually go down. If that happens, we are seeing two miners die for System X. RT has not lost a miner yet. Is that miner going to go down? I'm waiting to see if we can see the text of it go down. It looks like that is going to live. There are 3 pods we can see in our minimap, 3 blue pods in the sector, which means there are no blue ships in the sector to be able to fire on that miner and kill it. Now, RT is controlling a large portion of the map. It's going to be interesting to see exactly where they go from here. Of course, I've seen this already, so I kind of remember, but I'm going to try to play it like it's new for you guys. We can see here's a System X rush. They're rushing, and it looks like they're going to try to rush low, and it looks like Daz is going to change over quickly. He's going to load proximity mines, and those mines that are mines that are dropped in open space and allow for ships passing through those to take damage that are not friendly ships. And here we are, we're waiting on the Sys-X interceptors to rush into Thrail. We can see in the top right hand corner, current location is Thrail. Daz is playing it very well here. He knows that System X is headed directly for the miners, and he is going to drop those mines in such a way that System X interceptors will have to pass through those mines to attack the miner, taking hull damage as they pass through those mines. We have only 1 scout out, and that 1 scout, oh, now we do. Now we have 5 additional scouts out inside the sector to protect that miner, and looks like that miner is going to get docked safely into the outpost. Yes, it is. Now we see another rush at top. We see in yellow, System X miner 656 was just killed. Now that is 2 miners that System X has lost, while RT has lost none. You start the game with 1 miner, have a maximum of 4 in the primary in typical games, as in always in squad games, and we wait and see whether or not how much of a difference that's going to make. We can see there are still a large rush with 7 interceptors on the miners there for System X, but they have 4 scouts out to do nanning. Looks like the Ike miner in high is going to live without too much trouble. I believe that there is a constructor, if I'm not wrong, that's building in the near choke in the middle. If Daz manages to mouse over that for me just a second here, maybe he'll mouse over that sector. Hasn't moused over it quite yet. Come on, Daz. If I remember correctly, it was about at this point that RT built another base. I think it was an outpost, might have been a teleport, in that near choke sector, taking basically 1 access. There it is, and it is an outpost. That outpost is now building. I'm glad I remembered that properly so I could let you guys know exactly what's going on. It helps to have seen this already once. And now Daz is going to get back out an interceptor. He's probably going to wait on that op to build, and then they will rush Ike high. He's going to go ahead and rush from the expansion, it looks like. And there is still a Sys-X miner high, so we know that Sys-X, you start the game with 1 miner, they've lost 2, therefore they have bought at least 2 if they have a 3rd one still there. And we're seeing several Sys-X interceptors rushing the Ike Aleph, and we're waiting to see exactly how this comes out. They're waiting to get enough interceptors, and they'll work together, and then they'll rush the Aleph. The Aleph is mined. You can see there are those proximity mines we talked about. Both sides have them, but they weren't enough to actually kill all of the interceptors, and they are rushing that System X miner right now. You can see the not only the miner directly in front of you that Daz is firing at, but you can see his targeting array down at the bottom of the screen. Oh, that miner is going to be toast! Excellent work, Adept. Excellent work. That is now three miners that were killed by RT. System X has lost 3 miners. That is going to be extremely difficult to come back from, and we also know that excuse me, we also know that RT now controls the map. They have 1 sector access to every single sector in the map, which means they can very quickly launch and be able to get out into with no problem whatsoever into any sector. They can boost their interceptors very, very quickly. We can see there is a teleport constructor that has launched at home, and right about this time as well, something that you don't know from the System X side is that they are also building an expansion, and the only place that they can push that expansion now is back over into that far sector, the far choke point, where we just saw RT build an outpost. Looks like the full interceptors are now done, which is the Mark II ship for Dreadclaw. Again, the only way that IC, or the faction that System X is flying, can get Mark II tech is if that tech happens to get built by an expansion. So they can only get an expansion if they put it in a sector right now that is controlled by RT. RT has built in all the sectors that have the uranium rocks that are required for expansion. Now we are seeing, this will be very, very interesting. We have interceptors, full interceptors with Mini 2 guns again for RT against the System X light interceptors with Mini 1 guns. This should be a very, very interesting matchup here, because basically you're looking at an RT team that is out-teched, has out-teched the System X team. They have won the economy game thus far, and more than likely will continue to win the economy game. We are there is an expansion complex in the, you can see in Grav's chat, an expansion complex in the System X home. They are attempting to get that expansion to build in, I believe the name of the sector is Delgon. We are watching the System X, there they go, or they're going to kill that teleport constructor. In System X's home, if I remember correctly, this dies very, very quickly right here. Yes, it does. This teleport dies in the System X home, undefended, completely undefended constructor, very unlike System X. Very nice job, Adept. I know you got the kill for that as well. Didn't realize Daz was there as well, but good. Now, that expansion constructor is in Delgon, if I remember the name of the sector there, and Daz is going to try to get there as quickly as he can to help out. In that sector, you are waiting on that expansion constructor to, I'm going to see how long we have left here. We're waiting on the expansion constructor to continue to build for System X. If they are not able to build that expansion constructor, pretty much that is game. As Dorjan so rightfully said, to lose 2 expansion constructors, 3 miners, there is almost no way to come back from that in a game unless you are a faction that is meant to be a comeback faction, which neither of these are. And we're waiting on Dorj to dock here in just a moment, and we're going to see there is a large number of yellow dots in this contested sector. Yep, and now Dorj is now there, and he is in the correct sector to help his team attack that expansion. And there is the expansion constructor. And they are rushing over to that thing to kill it. If you'll see that there is now only 1 scout for yellow, 1 possible repair scout for yellow, and that expansion is down to 10% hull, and it is going down. Now, here it goes. Pop goes the expansion constructor. Very nicely done, RT. I am considerably impressed by this performance thus far. We see they had some additional scouts that made it into sector, but they were not there fast enough. And now, if they're not careful, they're going to go down and not be able to help their team get those pods. Here we go. We're going to wait now and see what can System X do. They have only basic tech. They do not have anything other than light ints and Mini 1. We are looking at regular ints for RT with Mini 2. Hopefully Daz will, yes, here we go. And we don't have heavy ints bought yet, but I imagine right about this point Grav is the commander for RT is saving up for those heavy ints. We are looking at the garrison. Note that you saw back in the System X home, very, very briefly, when Daz was looking at that home, you could see Fizz at RT. He'll skip over there in a moment again, maybe. They kept a scout with low signature. In other words, if you drop your shields, if you drop your missiles, it lowers the signature, which makes it much more difficult for you to be seen by the enemy. you could see that there was Fizz has sat in the home of System X, and that scout has a great scan range and has a very low signature, which makes it difficult to detect, and he has been eyeing those up. Here we go, we got a miner. System X is going to rush, and Daz knows it. He's going to help by sending that miner too low to Delgon to save that miner's life, and be able to make sure that miner stays alive as best as he can. He's helping his commander out there. But with Fizz sitting in the RT in the System X home, what you're seeing there is the fact that it can be seen excuse me, very, very, very easily. Any constructors that System X launches, because Daz is in there and excuse me, Fizz is in there and watching for those. We are seeing System X has rushed through 2 sectors. They have a very large number of interceptors in the Plur sector. As you can see, Daz is excuse me, the Ador. He's headed to Ador right now to help defend that miner. He's in a, I believe he's in a scout, and he's trying to get there to see, make sure he can help. There comes an interceptor. There is Spidey at SysX. He is the commander for System X. And now we're back. Sorry about that. We had a brief glitch and a pause in the video. We are now looking at Daz headed back to the outpost in Delgon where the miner is. Note that Dreadclaw does have, if I remember correctly, miners that are going to run really, really quickly. One of the other things, and I know we don't see the commander investment screen very much right now, but you can tell that Grav is an excellent commander, and what he is doing is right now he's purchased several global accelerations in the expansion complex, and those expansion complex accelerations, or GAs as we call them, include things such as not only additional speed for the already very fast Dreadclaw ships, but also things like faster mining for the miners, and so that also a yield GA or global acceleration, so that the miners will actually hold more helium-3, which will bring in more money per load for the miners. And those things are available through, and you can see there the HE3 Yield 2 has just completed, so when these miners dock, they'll be actually bringing in additional money greater than they would have. Their return on investment basically is excellent with those specific GAs. We're looking at 8 SysX interceptors, light interceptors, and they are doing the correct thing. They are shooting the scouts, the nanite scouts that will be repairing that miner first before going after the miner too much. There is Spidey. Spidey was just potted by mines. Again, a very good use of, excellent use of mines by RT. You could see that the expansion has been upgraded, and so we are looking at additional GAs that are available to the RT team, as well as the capability to purchase heavy interceptors. We can expect those heavy interceptors are going to be purchased and used very, very soon by the RT team. Once again, we are seeing a very large rush. There are still 4 interceptors alive. Of four SysX for the yellow team, and we are waiting to see. You can, and again here you can see there the heavy interceptors have been purchased and almost paid for, so that construction process has begun. It's a minute-long process if they are completely paid for. And Daz is out making sure that his miners stay alive, which is obviously, as we talked about before, Allegiance is an economy game, even though it's a first-person shooter and has many strategy aspects to it. Daz is rushing to drop mines on that Aleph. The Aleph drop is a very important thing. You can see those ships coming through hitting those mines that Daz just dropped. That makes them slow down. They take less damage from those proximity mines if they are going slower. Of course, if a ship is going slower, it's also more likely to be able to be hit by other ships that are firing at it. It makes it much easier to hit those ships.